is the 16th century, and all Europe is discovering America, named for Amerigo Vespucci, the Italian who was one of the first to write of the New World. The northern continent is a great wilderness of plains and mountains, of forests, lakes and rivers, stretching from the Arctic to the tropics, between the shores of two great oceans. In the 20th century, 155 million people will make their homes in the United States. But now, fewer than 1 million Indians live in this area, hunting the bison or the deer and cultivating their fields of maize and other vegetables. The people of this land make their home in the forests. They leave the wigwams of their villages to hunt or to fight rival tribes for control of the best hunting grounds. Their clothing is made from the skins of the animals they kill for food. They peel the bark of trees to make canoes that take them swiftly over lakes and rivers. Their tools are primitive, but they have many skills now lost to man. The skills they need for survival in the wilderness. It is an age of daring and of conquest, and victorious English captains are received in triumph at London's Royal Palace. Great honors are bestowed upon them for their courage and good fortune. Their stories of adventure in a land of endless wonders kindle dreams in many heads. As she listens, Queen Elizabeth begins to understand that the new world can add to the power and prosperity of the kingdom over which she rules. For now in England, the times are hard for many people. It was once a country where all who tilled the soil could find a simple livelihood. But the lords of great estates have turned farmlands into grazing lands. Farmers are homeless and dispossessed in their own land. Despairing of finding a living in the country, they plod their way along the roads that lead to London, already overcrowded. Few newcomers can find work in London's bustling streets, and soon the starving take to begging. But beggars and petty thieves are harshly punished in an age of cruel law. If men disobey the rules of the state church, they may be put to death or thrown into prison. A man of influence at the English court, Sir Walter Raleigh, sees hope for his suffering countrymen in these lands across the sea. Can Englishmen live in the New World? He sends explorers to North America to make detailed reports. They find that northern Indians have no precious metals. However, they raise plentiful crops around their peaceful villages. Tall, waving stalks with ears of golden grain called maize. And tobacco plants, whose broad green leaves the Indians roll and smoke for pleasure. Most plentiful, sweet, fruitful, and wholesome of all the world are the words used to describe the new land of promise. In 1607, a party of Englishmen comes to establish the first settlement. Indians approach them with suspicion, but the strangers offer tools and trinkets in exchange for fresh-killed game. This simple trade is the beginning of a cautious friendship. John Smith, an English captain, takes command when men start off to hunt for gold. He sets them to building shelters and defenses. Soon the food they've brought will be exhausted. They must clear land to harvest their own crops. They must learn from their Indian friends how to raise maize and tobacco. In 1620, a second settlement was started far to the north in Massachusetts, where 100 people landed on a bare and windy shore. Seeking freedom from the English church, their purpose was to live according to God's will as they understood it. For this, they were ready to confront the grim and grisly face of poverty. They copied the Indian way of raising crude shelters, but the New England winters soon forced them to build wooden huts. They covered them with thatch, like the homes they left in England. But for their governor, they built a better house. And they met under his roof to worship God in their own way. At first, there is little but hard work and faithful duty in their lives. Their Indian friends have taught them to grow maize and pound the grain to meal. They have shown them where to cast their nets to find fish in abundance in the waters off the shore. To survive in the wilderness, the Pilgrim family has adopted Indian ways. But in the evening, in the New World as in the English home they have abandoned, the mother spins while the father reads the Bible and the children sleep nearby. A second group of nearly 1,000 Englishmen soon settles near the Pilgrims. They are Puritans, who also oppose the ceremonies of the English church. Their leaders are men of property who have come with servants, laborers, and craftsmen to supply the comforts they could not bring with them. In this colony, religion dictates government. The ministers of the church proclaim the laws and rule the conduct of the citizens. During the next 100 years, these little New England settlements turn into bustling towns. New settlers, laborers, and craftsmen pour in from Europe to the new land, where there is work for all willing hands. Many New Englanders work in the shipping industry, which grows as the towns turn into ports. The rich forests provide wood for the fishing boats and for the ships of commerce that will sail across the ocean back to England and southeast to the West Indies and Africa. The pioneers keep coming, moving forward in a westward migration that begins in far-off Europe. Men and women of many faiths and many countries are joined in a common adventure for freedom and security. Out of their rich and varied qualities, the continent that lies before them will forge a character, the character of a new people, the character of a new country they are making in the wilderness.